So at this point, Coinbase is literally trying to screw over its own investors. Coinbase is down around about 50% from its IPO highs little over a month ago. Now, without a shadow of a doubt, Coinbase was one of the most hyped newly listed companies of 2021, and if you recall back, I actually did a video on this IPO which actually was a direct listing and give my thoughts and thesis on whether I was buying it then. Now, spoiler alert, I didn't buy any the day it got listed, and I still don't hold any. So if you're watching this video trying to find out what my entry is, currently I'm not in it, and I might not even ever buy this company, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why in this video, because genuinely at this point, I do feel that Coinbase is really trying to fuck over its own investors. Now in this video, I'm going to be telling you the main catalysts on why Coinbase continues to downtrend, and no, it's not really the Bitcoin sell-off, but that is for sure a factor we can talk about in this video as well. And finally, I'll leave you with my thoughts and thesis on if I'm actually going to end up buying this ticker and if I think it's good value at this level. But in full disclosure, this is not financial advice. You should do your own due diligence before it comes to making any investment decision. I'm just a guy experiencing a midlife crisis 10 or 15 years too early. Now, on a more real serious note, it came to my attention that after hours of painful research, this shocking discovery has come to my attention. That research came to the conclusion that 80% of people who do not hit that like button on this video will not be getting laid this weekend. So if you want to get your leg over, make sure that like button is turned blue. Now you can't argue with the facts there, numbers do not lie, so go ahead and make sure that like button is turned blue. Now at the recording of this video, the whole market is selling off, and Coinbase was down 40% when I wrote this sort of little notes that I have before every video, but now it's down 50%, and what a ride Coinbase is having. Continuously downtrending, and the investors who bought on the IPO day, some of them are down 50%. Absolutely crazy, because a lot of people thought this company was going to uptrend and go to the moon and basically rival companies like BlackRock and all the big financial institutions. But why is it downtrending? All the hype was there. We've got Cathie Wood, champion of the new investor and innovative technology, sizing in ARK Invest into this company and buying big every few days, and it's clear that they want this to be one of their biggest holdings. But why do they keep buying a loser? Why does it keep falling? Well, for me, the first real trigger was the direct listing. Now, if you don't know what a direct listing is, it's slightly different to an initial public offering, an IPO, on the first day the company gets listed on the stock market. A direct listing offers very few benefits to me and you, the retail investor, but a lot of benefits to people who've been working in the company. Now, I know it may sound bad, but I understand why companies go the direct listing route. Now, think about if you're a CFO or a board member or even just an employee who's been with the company for 10, 15 years and you keep getting paid a percentage or a share of the company. You now have the option via a direct listing to sell that at the market, to cash in your bonuses you might not have even been getting because you've been getting these shares instead. If you went the traditional IPO route, then there's some restrictions on buying and selling that stock. But that said, with Coinbase's hype, the valuation went through the roof, and a lot of the insiders decided to, hey, let's cash out that button, including the CEO and chairman. Now, for me, this triggered the sell-off, and I mentioned it in the previous Coinbase video that a direct listing is very, very scary, and it's more scary than an initial public offering. And even then, I don't really touch initial public offerings until we've got at least 1 or 2 earnings reports out the way. But more on that later, let's stick to the direct listing. So think about it. The day it gets listed on the stock market, we don't know how many shares are going to be sold from individuals inside the company. We've even got YouTubers like Andre Zik, a person who I really do admire. And if you don't know who Andre Zik is, go and check his channel out. He lives in Las Vegas. He's a pretty cool guy. And yes, he's a wizard. And I'm not joking there. If you watch his videos, he's an actual wizard. But even Andre did a video on the direct list and he got a bit of FOMO and he bought in. And he's obviously sitting through a lot of pain. Now, at the time of the listing, everyone thought it was just going to be a little dip and it was going to rebound back to the upside. But right now, well, it doesn't look that positive with Coinbase because it's still downtrending. But for me, the thing that started the fire was this insider selling, this direct listing when insiders are getting out, and you just really can't compete with that amount of volume. Now, the second reason why it's falling is it's slightly missed, and it's not even really a big deal here in terms of fundamentals, but they did slightly miss on their earnings recently. I think people were expecting wonderful things to come out of Coinbase, but they just missed on analyst estimates, and therefore that's obviously not a good thing short term. Now, normally this wouldn't be a big issue, but with Bitcoin at the time of the earnings really, going to the moon, and there's a lot of hype there, people are expecting more and more transactions and maybe even an earnings beat. So needless to say, those who are playing the earnings type of route were very disappointed with this company. Now, moving on to number 3, the things that start to really piss me off with this company. And yes, I'm getting a bit passionate here because I really wanted this company to do well. I really wanted to buy into this company. And in full disclosure, I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now in the video rather than wait for the end. I don't think I'll ever buy this company because their management just needs to change. They're saying stupid stuff like this. The third reason why it started selling off is because the board is recognizing their competitors. And this is a genuine statement. Our competitors are supporting certain crypto assets that are experiencing large trading volume and growth in market cap that we do not currently support. As well as this, they are also offering new products and services that we simply do not offer. Now, cough cough here, Dogecoin. They are adding Dogecoin to Coinbase in a couple of weeks. I don't really know, to be honest. I'm not a big crypto geek, but I know it's not on their platform as of yet. Now, Dogecoin's seen crazy growth, and of course, there's been a lot of transaction fees there. But this genuinely shocked me. How the hell was one of the most popular cryptocurrencies literally in the world not listed on the biggest crypto broker in the US? One of the biggest in the world, and it's not listed. Now, I get there's probably some regulation in there. They want to make sure everything's legitimate. But the fact that they seem to be lagging behind, but the first to be listed, is just worrying to me. And then coming out and recognizing that you dropped the ball, it just sounds like a bullshit excuse. I mean, realistically, whoever said this statement should just come out and say, yeah, we fucked up. I mean, I don't want to hear that your competitors are doing well, especially if I'm invested. And it's quite worrying that the management is coming out and saying this, rather than just come out and say, we dropped the ball, or we didn't want to go into this because we think Dogecoin is an absolute mess. Not we're 6 weeks or 8 weeks late to the party, because that train's already gone and left. We don't know if cryptocurrency is even going to rebound after the news I've got to talk about in just a second. Now, just before we get into number 4, why Coinbase is falling, and you probably guessed already, you probably shouldn't be buying this company at this level, or any level unless things really do change. Just before we get onto that, if you want to check out my Patreon and support my work and see what stocks I am actually buying and selling as it happens, check out Patreon down in the description. There's some cool perks there. We've got a unique WhatsApp group. I think there's only 1 or 2 spaces left on that, but you can go on there. You can actually message me directly. Just don't drunk booty call me at 2 o'clock in the morning. That Stephen Johnson keeps doing. And Steve, if you're watching this, please stop sending me those pictures, mate. No one wants to see that. Now, the fourth reason was actually sort of a concern which came into fruition. I wrote this script yesterday and some points that I want to talk about in this video. And today, well, I was a bit too late. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is absolutely tanking because China wants to regulate it, which I've been going on about for months on the channel. If you go and check out any of my crypto videos, I've been saying that regulation will come in, taxes are going to come in, and governments are going to protect their fundamental currencies. And I've been saying this for a long time, and people have sort of been brushing it off and laughing. You don't know Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin, or I nearly said share there. That was stupid. But genuinely, I didn't expect China to be the first one to do this. But they are, and Bitcoin absolutely crapped itself and dragged every other cryptocurrency down with it. Now, this is a big concern to me because I think regulation will come in, as I've said. I think taxes and hyper taxes may come in, especially from the US. And if that does happen, then obviously the transaction fees are going to be less because people don't want to pay taxes. People don't want to get bummed by the IRS. And more importantly than that, regulation comes in, it could just be outright banned. Now, I don't think it will be banned, but I think that limited transactions will happen. And with that, that means less hype, less growth, and of course, again, less revenue for Coinbase. Now, the penultimate reason why you should really just leave this company alone. They really do not care about you, a retail investor. And if they do, they're not really showing you it because they're doing another offering. That's right, they just got listed and just raised a hell of a lot of capital by getting listed onto the stock market. But it wasn't enough. They want more money. They're issuing another 1.25 billion in convertible notes, which is basically another way of saying we're going to sell more shares and dilute this ticker, which means the people who get hurt are the ones holding the stock. Supply and demand. If there's more shares available, same demand, then price goes down. You know, if there's more demand than supply, price goes up. It's that simple. They're throwing in more supply, more shares. But the fact that they're diluting already after recently listing shows one of two things. One is they didn't raise enough capital, in which case they fucked up. The second reason might be just they're greedy little fuckers, or the third reason might actually just be there's more to this picture than meets the eye. Now, whenever you do an offering, it raises more capital for the company. So they're going to raise roughly 1.25 billion in cash to the company at some point. Now, some companies just need to raise capital, like Tesla. They're building gigafactories left, right, and center, so they do need to dilute their share price, and I fully appreciate that. I don't think dilution on a company that's growing like Tesla is a big issue, because at the end of the day, if you want Tesla to succeed, they need more factories. But with Coinbase, what is the new exciting project? Well, I'm going to get onto it in just a second. In fact, no, I'm going to come onto it now. They've got really good cash flow. We looked at their earnings. They've got enough cash sat there laying around. Why do they need to raise 1.2 billion? What is this exciting project? I mean, what's worth upsetting your retail investors to raise this amount of money on a stock that's downtrending, and investors are already down at the time when this came out 30-40%. I mean, what is the exciting new project? Are they inventing their own cryptocurrency? Are they going to open a new headquarters? What's it for? Well, you're going to be very disappointed, because it is for general corporate purposes, may include working capital, but general in corporate purposes. In other words, nothing. Petty cash. They've got petty cash sat there. They're not doing anything wonderful with this other than just being, like I said, greedy little fuckers. Now, if they're not being greedy little fuckers, the only way I can really justify this is that they have messed up on expense ratios, and they think that it's going to be more expensive to operate in the future. And if that is the case, they should really disclose that information, because then you get people like me who are not even invested and shouldn't give a flying toss about this company getting really angry that you're trying to screw over some new investors that put faith in you and genuinely believed in your company. Now, either way, this leaves a really bad taste in my mouth, and the management, in my opinion, just can't be trusted. When I buy a company, I want at least growth potential. I want people to be passionate about it, but I also want people who are going to look after the retail investor. Dilution is cool. I understand dilution, but in this case, for genuine petty cash, when you have petty cash available, it's just unjustifiable, and the management really dropped the ball here. Now look, sorry for the really passionate video here, but it really grinds my gears a little bit when new investors get hurt, especially when that new investor really could have nearly been me. The big lesson in the video is don't buy direct listings and don't buy IPOs. For me, I really wanted to buy this. I remember having an order ready and then pulling the plug last minute, and it saved me a hell of a lot of pain and a hell of a lot of money. I think if I had bought this, I'd have probably averaged in on the way down. And that would mean my share size and dollar value would be even more, and my pain would be even greater. Because as my thesis stands, this offering that they've just put out just sums up what sort of company they are. But the rule that I learned a few years back was don't buy an IPO, because it's an absolute coin toss. We don't know what insiders are going to sell, when they can sell. We need to see some filings, what their cash flow is, and how they operate. We need to see that to make an affirmed decision, no matter what the company. I really don't care what company it is. And Coinbase really was very close to making me break that rule, and I'm very happy I didn't. So now you're probably going to ask, am I buying Coinbase at any point? No, I'm not. And it's really upsetting to me, to be honest. And you can probably tell in this video, I'm quite passionate about the company. I love what they're going to do. I love the crypto space, even though I don't really like cryptocurrency yet. But I do like the facility, and I think the company could have had a bright future. But some things really do need to change. And until this sort of, filings come out and this really bad taste in my mouth disappears, which will take literal years, I can't see myself buying this company. But that said, if you want to buy it or short it, you can sign up on eToro on the pinned comment, sign up, deposit, make a trade, and you get access to the eToro LWT chat room. We even have scanners in there and charting, so you can go and check it out. Now, what I'd like to know from you is, are you in Coinbase? If you're watching this far in the video, just do me a kind favor, no hate intended. Let me know what your price is that you entered down below in the comments. I wish you all the best of it, and I really hope I'm wrong, and I really hope it rips for you, because for me, I hate seeing investors lose money. Even the crazy apes who are in AMC, believe it or not, I want them all to make money. And especially when I'm not in a ticker, I really don't care where it goes. But for me, I really do think Coinbase will continue downtrending, and I can't see that changing anytime soon. Look at it this way. Every single retail investor that bought this company right now is pretty much underwater. Every single one of them are in pain. Shorts are winning and sellers are winning. There's no buyers really winning in this company. So until that changes and we see a sort of bottom and then a higher low, it's not even interesting on a technical scale on a chart. So good luck with it. I hope it works out. That's it from me. Take care. Peace.